Hi, I'm Rachel, and welcome to my channel, Bricoleuse, where I share techniques and tricks I've learned from over 25 years working as a costume craftsperson. As a sewing enthusiast, you may have heard of something called a walking foot. What does that mean? A walking foot is an attachment for your domestic sewing machine, or it can be a specialized industrial machine that only stitches with the walking action. In this video, I'll demonstrate the basic use of an industrial walking foot machine, the Consew 206RB-1. You'll learn how to safely operate this equipment, some tips for keeping a machine like this running smoothly in a shared workspace, and if you're a home sewist, you can determine whether a walking foot attachment is something you'd like to obtain for your home machine. This video assumes you have a basic understanding of how a sewing machine works, and if you have experience sewing on a standard straight stitch industrial machine, you'll find many aspects of this walking foot familiar. Let's get into the demo. This is a training on the Consew walking foot machine. When you use this machine, which you really only want to use it for heavy duty leather, vinyl, beefy stuff. So to use it, you take your cover off of it. It works basically like your industrial sewing machines. You wind a bobbin over here the same way. Note how the spindle that winds the bobbin is powered by the belt that runs the machine. This big cone thread that's heavy-duty nylon. It's not that you can't run the regular thread through it, but you have to do a lot of adjustments to the tension and a lot of experiments with the machine. Do some samples before you were to put anything else on this machine. It's really best for heavy-duty purposes. And it takes its own special bobbins, but if you can see this, it's definitely bigger than the domestic bobbins. Over top, directly in front of the machine that you can see when you're using it, is a big pink sign that says the bobbin thread runs clockwise. Yes, clockwise. If you put it in backward, the machine will seize up. It's there because that happens, or it used to happen before this sign was here. So double check that your machine, there's a diagram that shows you exactly how it's supposed to go. When you put your bobbin into the bobbin casing, make sure it's going the right way. There's also, on a little hook over here, an instructional sheet that I've condensed the most useful sections of the instructions on this machine with a threading diagram and information on troubleshooting, like if you need to replace the needle, if you need to remove and insert the bobbin case. The answer to your question is probably on this sheet, which is why it's kept right next to this machine. Okay, so it's got a lever in the back to lift the presser foot up and down, as well as a knee lever, and it has a reverse here, and your stitch length is this little dial. So I'm making the stitch smaller or larger by adjusting that right there. The diagram for rethreading this machine, like I said, is right on the wall right there. The tension that is on the tension dial is set for beefy leather, because usually I only use this to sew belts and straps and things of that nature. So if you're going to use it for another weight of material than this beefy type leather type stuff, then you'd want to adjust the tension here. I'm going to turn it on. It's pretty loud. I like to use the knee lever to put material under there. Now I like to hang on to the upper thread and use the hand wheel to place the needle down in the material before I step on the gas, because the pedal for this thing is really sensitive and it'll go really fast if you don't get a sense for it. Don't be scared of it though. It's a fantastic machine, and once you get used to it, you will love it. Okay, so you put the needle in the material and then you step on the gas. Now, I don't know if you can see really clearly what the foot's going to do, the walking action. Here's a closer view so you can see how the two parts of the foot walk the material through as you stitch. If I wanted to back stitch, I could do that. Let's just go to the edge. Now, I want the lever arm here to pull the thread all the way up to the height of its range. And then I lift the presser foot with my knee. Then I release the tension on that so that I have that much thread to pull the material out from under the presser foot. And then I can use the lever and the action of the machine to pull some more thread through there. Then I clip my threads up close to the front, and I've managed to sew a line of stitching in this really beefy leather. Yay! Now I'm done with this demo, so I'm gonna turn it off with the switch over here. I'm gonna take my machine cover, cover this guy up, and that's that. That is the basic training of the walking foot machine.